was about doing the same to the second. He's basically coup de grace the creatures.
I appreciate that. The looks like mercy.
A clean
quick
kill.
Yeah. So
Now the meat.
I kind of nod at that, but not like really paying attention, just kind of in the background.
Whatever do you
So go grab the bear,
Yeah.
like bring the bear next to the elephant, whose name I still don't remember, and like just
Excellent.
keep bandaging the elephant. And as I'm doing that, kind of look at the elephant a little more closely, and I reach in my pack and I hand him some magic herbs.
Okay.
So, just tell him like, hey, take this, you'll feel better.
Are Ludo and Manny coming with the tank?
The tank.
Yes.
I don't know what that refers to.
It's the thing, the apparatus.
He's the Qualish machine.
You have no idea what you're talking about.
Never saw it.
Interesting.
Never saw it. I was just thrown into prison with Ludo.
Well,
Wait, they're
thrown into prison. By whom?
I'd love to know that. It was fake. Now don't distract me. Like,
We did see a prison at one point in that hut.
True.
Perhaps there.
While you're not being distracted, you could talk to me about your friend.
I nod. Like, but really
Yeah.
focusing on the healing. Or the wrapping. Like,
I'll fly up, but I'm still invisible. I'm gonna inspect him and the bear and probably at some point detect magic, which
perception.
Yeah, so the bear is in a bag, like he picked it up and stowed it, so it's on his person.
Well, and also, would you have seen it?
I saw it on the ground at one point, I think.
Yeah, but from the top it just looks like a boulder. Like if you're
I
50
saw
feet away or...
you were a bit interested in it. I don't know quite what it was. I'm just kind of like next to him, examining him, looking over his things.
What are you trying to ascertain? He seems to be busily going about trying to staunch some of the wounds on Zephyros.
Just trying to get a feel for the cut of this guy's jib, you know?
Alright, give me a knowledge nature check.
17.
And then you can give me a perception check too. Invisibility is not
19?
foolproof. You gather as much that he is a half giant. You're not too sure of what lineage. He's got some face wrappings and seems to cover up. His eyes are strange. Do you have any markings or tattoos or anything like that?
Just scars, but not the scars is just someone who walks through forest and.
Yep.
So not like combat scars.
He's outdoorsy.
Yeah. Perception of 26.
You smell the professor. You get the sense that somebody's very close to you. What does the professor smell like?
Old man.
Okay,
You smell Ben Gay.
yeah. There weren't any of that around, and so I feel like that would distract me. I turn in that direction. Like, who's here?
No one.
You heard a voice. You startled it, and it's going away.
Don't let me distract you. Not that anyone was here.
Where's Ludo? And the little fairy is talking to the big fairy. I don't know if you speak Sylvan, but
I don't.
Okay.
I'll say in common, he doesn't want to be distracted right now, Pixel. I'm sure he'll tell us more about Ludo's imprisonment, and perhaps where Manny is when he's done with this healing.
Yes.
He's a really slow healer.
Yes. I'll switch to Sylvan. Yes, perhaps his gods do not bless him as they bless us. Although, the gods haven't really blessed us in that way either, specifically.
This is a strange organ.
Oh, let me see. I'll get it.
I kind of turn my head at that as well.
Yep. He's got like the throat of the thing. He was starting to like cut the thing down the middle, and there's this weird gland that normal avians don't have.
No, perhaps this is how it makes all that terrible sound.
Yes.
I wonder if it's tasty. Perhaps some sort of delicacy?
I pull out one arrow
Yep.
and I like underhand toss it to him,
Okay.
and I say like,
One of his hands, he's pretty
Yeah.
quick.
well, yeah, this wasn't like an offensive throw. It's like,
Yep.
hey, take this, poke at it, like try it. Poke at the gland or the organ, I guess, because I want the gland.
It makes almost like a a breathing xylophone kind of sound.
It swallowed a bagpipe!
There's like an actual noise. Give
Oh, Danny boy.
Oh, reminds me of my home.
it is noisy.
Perhaps we could attach it to Zephyros' feet next time he's sneaking, and maybe we'll blend in better.
Perhaps he could use it in his spells. Or Ludo in his alchemy.
Yes.
Or practical joke of some kind.
They should be consumed in a different way.
Ooh.
He then goes about noisily extracting this gland, and you could write down on your sheet that you've got 2 Yurthak wind glands, wind pipes.
I'll throw it in gear and treasure.
Alright.
Exotic and weird stuff seems about right.
Sure.
2x year thack.
These things were conjuring sonic energy as their attacks. These glands might have something to do or might be able to augment sonic spells.
Sonic.
Tech is now busily starting to carve up these creatures.
Do I the arrows, when the fire arrow hits something, does it like explode or?
Yeah, any arrows that hit in combat are consumed.
Gotcha.
The ones that you miss, 50% of them you could go and retrieve.
Okay. I don't. I don't even try.
Okay. Tech hands your arrow back. It's just almost like he just one of his forearms just hands the
Right.
arrow back and then continues to butcher these creatures.
I look at if anything happened to the wood or the point. Like, is there just what I mean? Like,
Yep.
have this thing corrosive or liquid, or like did it have an effect that blood would have?
The arrow was usable. He did use it to poke the gland a few times. If you had time, you probably would want to make sure the arrowhead didn't come loose, as the vibrations from the gland may have loosened the arrow, but no mechanical loss on that particular arrow. But yeah, had he basically pressed the thing up against it, it might have eventually done damage to the arrow.
Gotcha.
You continue, I guess, stand around for an hour. You do heal the Fant with your non-magical healing. Let's give us what was the result again? Do you remember?
Of the roll.
Yep,
21.
21.
I think, yeah.
Treat deadly wounds. He gets 6 hit points back.
So I've already subtracted the 21. Do I need to subtract 6 more?
No, I don't think you got healed for 21 earlier.
That was the check result.
To see if it worked.
Oh,
The non-magical healing healed you for 6 damage after an hour of treating.
so then I just need to put the 51 back, so the 21 back, so 42, so then I can subtract 6, did you
Yep.
say?
Yep.
I think we need to get to shelter on the far side, so we can trek to the smoking pillar.
Just a little bit of gameplay from Zephyros before we go away. Zephyros was eavesdropping on the Sylvan conversation that you had with Pixel. How much Sylvan do you guys speak generally around Zephyros?
Oh, I mean, a reasonable amount
Probably by
between
default.
ourselves.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Because Zephyros can pick up another language, so perhaps he can pick up Sylvan.
Sure.
Mm-hmm.
He's been listening to you speak. And like the scene from the movie 13th Warrior, you begin to learn the language by just listening.
Right.
Sure.
That's how it works.
Because that's how it works.
Antonio Banderas. Alright.
You're the
Alright,
answer.
sorry to interrupt. So now we can start going.
If it happened in a movie, it's happening in the D&D game. Moving on.
in the Martyverse.
Well, hopefully Ludo will come back soon, and we should keep the door with us. What do you think? Shall we get to someplace less out in the open?
I suppose. I guess at some point in that hour, the professor became visible for the first time around.
Yep. And I'm not sure how long the shrinky spell has lasted.
Ah, that one's gonna be.
I'm going to ask Zephyros to end that rope trick, and so I can take the rope back.
We need Mokranum to come out of it first, so the Zephyros will fly in and pick him up.
Okay. Zephyros comes back out with a bag, and there's something about the bag that is creepy. It's the opening of the bag kind of looks like a mouth, and you saw for a moment. At first, you thought they were buttons, but they were actually like real eyeballs, kind of on stalks. And the bag kind of wiggled its way further into the backpack that that Zephyros is carrying, and it goes, "Oh, thank you." It actually spoke. Thank you for getting me out of that horrible hole. I felt like I was all plugged up.
Ooh.
Yes, but it is still much better than it would have been if you were out here.
Oh, did you? I see you killed the birdie things.
Yes, but I took almost half of hit point damage in the way.
Hey,
Pretty hurt.
who's that guy?
Oh yes. Who
I
are
don't
you? That
know.
guy?
Yeah, I think this whole time I'm kind of looking at the bag with like, well, because it does it have teeth or?
It has teeth. If you
Yeah.
zoom into the,
It's his friend.
it's kind of slobbery.
Right.
What's not here is that
So
two of the eyeballs disappeared, and then like two eyeballs kind of grew out of the side of it, and then a third eyeball, like because it doesn't
Right.
know how many eyeballs
So
it should have.
because it has teeth,
Yep.
I appreciate it. Because it's kind of like an animal in that sense, and I'm into that.
Wait, is he friend or foe?
He's first off, he's a friend of Ludo, so I think that makes him a friend of ours, but I don't know much more than that.
Ludo didn't come. He was supposed to come, but he didn't. My name is Mokranam Gobbler. I can eat things for keeping or for eating.
I nod at the bag. At the bag, like ignoring the others. How far along chopping up the pterodactyl or whatever the hell?
It's about an hour of butchery. We ought to be in pretty good shape. On
Yeah,
that, I
he's
think.
finished with one and has started on the other.
So I take like a piece of what looks like muscle,
Mhm.
like lean muscle, and I try to like hand it to the bag.
Okay.
Oh, it's fleshy. Is it for eating or for keeping?
How would I answer that question? I guess I'd just say for eating.
Oh, I like this one. He feeds Mokranam for eating.
A big tongue comes out, wraps around the big muscly bit, and then
It's a good point.
the meat kind of disappeared without him chewing. You could hear a gurgling sound coming from the bag. He belches.
Oh, thank you.
You're welcome.
Anything that you give me for eating, I can eat. Mokranam has a very, very strong stomach acid. It can eat anything.
That's useful.
Oh,
It has been very useful.
It has been fun.
where's Ludo? Where's Manny?
I don't know who Manny is. And again, I'm responding to the bag.
Yep.
I don't know who Manny is. I've met Ludo. We were in jail for a while. Then he helped me escape. He said they would take care of me. I take Take it he was talking about you guys?
I assume so, unless he went and got himself some more compatriots.
Oh, Ludo and Manny are our friends.
Yes. If they're not together, I'm worried about Manny.
Yes.
Oh,
Hopefully that damnable knife of his hasn't gone and poisoned his brain again.
yeah, he has a chopper that it makes him want to eat lots of meat.
That's true.
Did he have weapons with him in the prison?
Yeah, it was like they either were in a hurry or didn't consider you that much of a threat that you just got kind of thrown into this weird cell with like a magical barrier with all of your equipment and all of your stuff. When you came to, however, the bear, you never saw what happened to your bear. Your bear was like a statue. You're assuming the Fae did something to your bear.
Right. Yeah, seems sound. And how did I know it was the Fae though? Because I know that I would have like a head cast over me.
There were lots of invisible things flying around. You heard them speaking in a language that you think is fairy, and they made you fall asleep.
Sounds fair. Yeah, remembering that because this was a conversation with you on my own brain.
Mm-hmm.
I glanced suspiciously at Pixie, but I don't say anything.
Yeah.
I think the first question that would be on my mind would be, how long ago has Ludo left you?
Ooh. Several days at this point?
I think 3
about
days.
A week? No, he left before we left town, was it not?
Yeah, you guys have been in the desert for about
yes.
10 days now.
The heat does
Yeah.
strange things to the mind.
10 days? A 10-day.
Ah,
And have you been here for those 10 days?
A week. Is a week 10 days? No. A day is 13 hours.
10 days?
26 hours. Who knows?
Right.
Have we been here? No, we've been traveling to here.
Okay.
And now we're here. We haven't been here very long. And I don't think we should stay here very much longer either. There's
No.
those birds.
we should get out of here and get to some place where we can rest for the night. The
Can
day
talk.
is getting long.
Yeah, I mean, I think this conversation is even happening. Like,
Excellent.
while we're
Sounds good.
talking.
I am not finished gathering the meat.
Oh,
That's a
Can
good
you
point.
carry all of it?
There is still.
Oh my god. Do you want to know how much Tech can carry?
Oh, yeah. Oh, did you give him magical muleback cords or something like that?
Give him those muleback cords.
He's
yeah.
creating some sort of like sled out of their wings and is kind of packing these rough squares onto the sled.
His heavy load max
Yep,
is 1,353 pounds.
that's a lot of ham.
Medium load, 900 pounds.
Okay. You might have to convince Tech to leave the giant rothe behind.
450 on the light. Yeah. But he should be able to get a little bit of meat off of everything. I think he has the 2 rothe horns.
Okay.
Can I make a nature check to take a guess at like what the best parts would be?
Yeah.
Ooh. Yeah, if you want to help Tech get the good meat, you guys are
Survival
gonna be
would also
friends.
part of survival is butchering your prey. So,
Right.
You want one of those from Tech?
Sure.
14.
So.
Nice. You point out some choice cuts, and Tech just nods.
Mhm.
That is the sweetest meat.
Yeah. Well, less sweetest, but the juiciest. Yes.
the meat talk.
Knowledge monsters. Yep. In particular, you guys end up getting the filet mignon type cuts from the desert rothe. You dig pretty far in,
Yeah.
and extract some things. Tech also takes its eyeballs and his brain, and the liver of this creature might make a nice paste. Pretty soon, you've got maybe 400 or 500
There's
pounds.
Tech survival, 28.
Nice. This creature is efficient. Having an extra set of arms is it's as quick with its extra set. as it is with its primary set, and it seems to be a creature that never stays still. Like always kind of in motion and doing things, while the rest are relaxing for a few moments. It appears to just be industrious. It doesn't take offense to you being close to it, and seems to, I guess, appreciate you pointing out where the good meats were.
250 pounds apiece of rothe meat and yurthak meat?
Yep. The rest will be left for the flies, or that last Yathrak, which is flown out of view at this point in time. You sent it packing.
Get out.
Packing back to Mama.
Shoot.
Which means you now know that it came from the nest. Like it responded to the mother calling. And I think you guys made a knowledge roll where you know that there is a big one out there called the Great Yathrak.
I remember that.
Yeah. There's something even bigger than these ones out there.
Yeah.
Big mom.
But I don't know any of that.
No, they made that roll earlier. You don't even know where you are.
So I've added to text character sheet meat sled made of yurthak wings.
Meat sled.
The old meat sled.
Oh. All right, tech is ready to roll. We have meat.
Literally.
Where to?
Where are we? Or I guess, like, where is this? What is this world?
Knowledge geography? Let's see if you actually know.
Well, I will check, but I vote
Yeah.
plus this question.
Yep.
What pearl are we in at this point?
This is Bastera. This is the Valley of the Titans in Bastera.
Yes.
Bastera Badlands, on the edge of the Badlands.
Roll 15.
15? Well, that kind of makes sense. Bostera is known for being a desert, but there could be other deserts out there. But good thing they know where they are,
Right.
where you guys are.
If we peel back, it's a very impressive valley filled with many rock formations, and this particular butte has like smoke coming out of it.
Would it be
Covering a scale, the scale of a long dead dragon.
and it's
From the smoking butte over there.
Is the scale smoking?
I don't think so. But it's old enough. And then we bring it back to the ossuary.
Okay. I guess I don't care about that, so I just don't ask follow-up questions.
Fair enough.
Here's a question I do ask. How much water do you have?
I'll create water.
Okay, water just begins to sprout out of her hand.
Yeah, we can create.
How much water do you want?
Enough to fill like whatever skin I carry water in.
Yep.
I will
So-
fill all of your water skins.
Yeah.
Yes.
So I make use of that.
She is the queen. She is the only one that can create water. She should not die.
Am I the only one with great water nowadays? I might be.
Drinkable water.
Okay, yeah.
wait a second. Does anybody have
Yes.
purify food and drink?
Tech is right. I should not die.
Pixel does a little pirouette in the air. Pixel is a little tiny fae, like only a couple inches tall. She seems to agree with the sentiment that that Pharisee should not die. It was very matter of fact, very logical, very cold.
Text.
Text
Yes.
response.
Yes.
Yeah. So I accept the water. I guess I look around, and so pretty much my whole life after leaving the cult was, I mean, go to Bisons, get a bear, and travel, just like experience world.
Yep.
Have I been to a desert place before?
No.
Okay. So I look around. I kind of appreciate it. I pull out some magic herbs, roll them.
Okay.
And I guess I say like, okay, I'll walk with you to that smoke. Maybe there's something good smoke in there.
There should be treasure.
Yes. Treasure is usually interesting. I've spent my life trying to get to this valley.
And it is part of our quest.
Indeed. The sun is getting low.
I think we want to get to shelter, to cover of some sort. Maybe towards the rim over there.
Yes.
Work our way around towards the butte. The Death Vark are a risk near the smoking butte itself, and we don't want to get pounced by the death vark while we're recovering.
Yes, we should camp somewhere we could be a bit hidden from them.
Yes. So a little ways off, but, you know. Our own vark friends are up on the ridge over there.
Vark are like Jawa-esque anteater folk. They're small, and they're like the scavenger race. Their obsession is junk. The sound of the carnivorous Vark. It seems like maybe the Vark in this harsh place have a different idea of what is junk, and
They
yes.
fight tech for the meat sled.
If they are scavengers, they will come for the meat. This is easy meat.
Is the easiest of meats there is, I'd say, on a sled, being whisked through the sands. Shall we? I'm getting a bit drained out here in the sun.
Are you feeling weak, old man?
No, of course not. Stronger than ever.
The Zephyros
How much
cast
does that
endure elements
mean?
on you, right, Professor?
Yeah, I have endure elements on, but I'm old
Yeah.
and I'm tired of walking around.
No, I'm just checking. The Zephyros cast it on you, right?
I believe I prepared it and cast it myself, so you didn't have to.
I think Zephyros cast it on somebody else, but I can't remember on.
I think you were gonna, but then I saw I had it and I ended up preparing it so that you didn't have to use a spell slot for me.
Where should we shelter?
In the hollow of that one of those hills close to the wall. Perhaps.
Can I make a survival check to like a place would be good for that?
Yep.
Um, uh, 18.
If you're looking for shelter from the wind and the elements, probably
There is a space if we zoom out.
there is like two walls that face each other. This would give you a single approach to defend against from prey.
It's a fair point.
Knowing that the Yurthak basically hunt in this area, climbing out of the valley itself might be another idea where there's actual shrubs and places to hide.
And it's not like a day's journey across the valley. It's like an hour.
Yeah, it's like a good hike.
Yeah.
To
Go
get
back to the
We could go back to our vark.
True, that hill took a bit of a toll on me, though. We could go back to the vault with that pale fellow.
Yes. Especially since it's approaching evening and we probably should go to the butte by day.
Yes. So
I haven't seen these flying things before, right?
I don't think so.
Is it possible to look at its eye and like make a judgment if they're night creatures?
Yeah. Give me a knowledge nature as you're looking at the thing's face. Its eye sockets are really, really small, almost like they're slits. And there are weird, like flat circular glands beside where its eyes are, kind of where its temples are.
14.
14. All you gather is that this thing probably does not rely on sight. You actually have to cut a membrane to find an eye that you doubt is even functioning.
I'll see him doing this and walk up and say, the creature actually uses a form of location by sound. Some refer to it as echolocation, used by some tiny mammals. It's been rumored that there are various sea creatures who use the same sort of system. It is very difficult.
So it can hunt at night.
Yes, night, day, blindness, fog. They can find you if you're invisible.
So it's probably better for us to cross this valley by night, actually,
Yeah.
because the herd, they're large, like herdy animals. They're not going to be traveling by night.
The herd animals are a bit docile and easily distracted, and We are at the disadvantage at night, unfortunately.
There are predators here at night as well that we have yet to encounter.
Yes, it may get quite nasty here once the sun goes down.
I shrug at that. And I guess then I recall that not everyone can see during the night like I can. So, yeah, I don't say anything beyond that.
Well, back to the ossuary vault.
We have been warned that there are desert lions.
Yes. The night is a dangerous place.
What
Perhaps
sort of place?
out of the valley would be wise with our Vark, because they're the ones that know how to get back. I don't want to lose them.
Yes, this way.
Tech begins to lead the party out of the valley. As you approach the place where you thought might be good cover, you realize that somebody decided to build in between these two rock faces. You see gigantic crumbling relief statues of big Fant. There's 6 of them. You can't quite see, but there's a V in here. And these 2 statues there are 2 rows of these statues that flank this valley, and then there is like an old ancient monolithic construction of a post and 2 posts and a lintel. Like big slabs of stone and a dark recess that leads into the place. A chill crosses your spine when you look down this this valley that the Fant might think sacred. They don't seem to go in there. Like they cast glances. They don't seem really concerned with that. But you're out here to see the world, and this is a thing. Gigantic 30-foot statues of Fant things are not something you see every day. Onkwani is the word that comes to mind. Think ancient Egyptian, effectively. And they do cross over. There are some trails here, like people have made these trails. And there is a intersection of the trails that the party seems to avoid, and there are what look like traced runes of iron that somebody has somehow painted or carved or cast into the center of one of the of this crossroads. They avoid it.
Are we no longer going to go get that stone that we were after?
Oh, we must rest, Zephyros. I can't manage another fight today.
It will only take us an hour or so to get from where we are to the smoking butte.
Okay.
We'll be back tomorrow, I assure you.
Do not worry. We have lots of food. And the queen can make water.
Food.
Yes, chicken or something.
Okay. With Tech and Zephyros' help, you guys begin to climb and trek out of the valley, and you meet up with a bunch of Vark.
You can cook up a bunch of meat.
The Vark seems startled by your presence at first, but it does look like they have disguised or camouflaged these gigantic stag beetles that have lots and lots of saddlebags and nets on top of them, and maybe even like a saddle to ride.
Hell, did you find any junk down there? Says one of the Vark as they come forward, and they all perk up at the word junk, and they kind of come running over.
Oh, I think this fellow here, son, is that your name?
I know.
Yes, he is all sorts of junk. You should ask him about it. Don't take no for an answer, I say as I walk over, and I'll use an arcane point, summon an unseen servant, and have it commence to rub my shoulders. Oh, almost, yes. Oh, there, no, a little to the left.
Okay. There is a great beast, one of the desert rothe. This one looks like it's domesticated, and it has a howdah, which is like a big basket on top of its back where lots of people could stand inside. And it's just chewing at some desert grass, and it looks like the Vark had been providing it water. Here, yeah, the wind is a little bit nippier up here, but there are a lot of hedges, kind of like desert hedges and cacti that you can camp amongst. This would provide a little bit of cover from things trying to sense you. And it just feels a little less dangerous than being down in that valley.
And you can, like, just, turn your head 360 degrees, how far can we see?
Yeah, you can see. You can see basically here in the middle of the day, and then the scrub desert stretches out eventually to
What looks like a ridge line way in the distance.
Tech's gonna have himself a real feast because he likes raw meat, I think.
Yep.
And it's not gonna keep very long if it stays raw. So he'll try little bits of all the different cuts, I suspect.
Mm-hmm.
And maybe the Vark will help preserve some of that meat.
They are interested in the meat sled, although they seem a bit nervous as well. They have not approached the meat sled.
So I haven't been.
it's what it is.
I haven't been in the desert,
Chris,
but
I don't think cares.
I feel like I know how to like dry meat, like make jerky and things like that.
Yeah, you need to get a good fire going, and then salt.
Won't sun do the trick?
Sun could also do the trick.
Okay.
A survival check would allow you to start to preserve some of the stuff.
Yeah. Yeah, I think that I basically do the same thing. Well, I don't eat raw, but I, start a fire and try to.
With a survival plus 14, you don't need to make a roll.
Okay.
Hopefully this won't attract too many predators at night. Tech, you're gonna have to guard your meat. If it brings a bunch of lions, we'll have to add lion meat to the pile.
Fire will scare them away.
Yeah.
I say as I'm like nodding, turning my head.
Fire will also let other creatures know we're here.
But if they navigate by sound, it doesn't matter.
The Vark already have probably made their presence clear.
Yes, we will make a fire.
Well,
Tech stops eating and goes and starts gathering up some firewood.
I have crawled into my wheelbarrow, onto my pillow.
What's that?
He did that last time for us too.
Yeah, he did. Really nice of him last time.
There's some giggling. You don't know what going and making a fire is so funny, but Tech does not bring back the wrath of any cactus folk. He does make a fire.
Well, that's good.
Yeah.
That's good.
Is cactus folk a racist term for Mexicans?
No.
No.
There were actual living cactus, like treants, but made out of cactus instead. And they were growing like a garden of little cactus children. And Tech went out to gather wood and came back with sort of green stuff dripping. And he was like, that he said plant meat. And they were like, yeah, whatever, man. And then later, the cactus people sort of stormed our camp because someone came and quote unquote ate their children.
Quote unquote.
Is this a story that's told to me, or is this happening?
Meta, I'm willing to tell that story around the campfire though later.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay, I
So be
appreciate that
careful.
because I hate plants.
Be careful about the cactus children and the plant meat. I certainly am not a fan of people eating walking, talking plant meat.
Oh, yes, nobody wants that.
The Vark have decided that any of the meat that's on that sled is not for them, and they kind of keep to themselves that evening.
Huh. How curious.
Oh,
Are they too good for the meat?
You don't know.
Why aren't the Vark after your meat, Tech? Is your meat good?
Yes.
I know too.
You've eaten both the types of meat and you're not sick?
No.
No, you've not eaten both
Oh.
the time.
Oh, I know.
You were not sick.
I know. This meat is not junk. This meat is only junk to the Death Vark.
yes. I will say from my wheelbarrow while unseen servant continues to rub my shoulders.
Okay. The professor's got a wheelbarrow. It's made out of wood. and there's some like fancy pillows in it and a little blanket and a parasol that he's got open, and he kind of crawls into the wheelbarrow, and there's something that's moving his shoulders, although you can't quite see what it is.
Not so hard. Damn thing.
Oh, that's... Yeah, the professor does not look like... He looks like he's a man of leisure and not... It's like somebody took him out of his library and kind of plopped him into this place.
I wish I had something new to read.
So, as we were sitting around the fire, and I take it, cooked some meat, started drying some jerky or whatever.
Yep.
And are like more or less relaxed. At some point, I turned to, I won't say the dryad, but you're not a dryad.
Fey creature.
Yes. Yeah.
I am Pharisee,
Yeah.
curse singer,
Yeah. So.
the herald of autumn. I am the only one.
Right.
The
So.
only one I have ever seen.
I make a mental calculation, and I say, "Excuse me, dryad." Just kind of clearly in your direction, and I wait for a reaction.
I am not a dryad. I am just Pharisee.
Okay. Excuse me, Pharisee.
Curse singer. My people
Are
were
you
driven
of
from
the
the forests.
Yeah. So I guess we say that literally, like we just did.
Yes.
So
Look at you,
look of appreciation.
Pixel dances and says, "Cheeks!"
Garden was where my people were from. And Garden is no more.
So slight confusion as I try to associate forest and gardens.
Garden is this is Bastera.
Mm-hmm.
Bastera. I come from Garden, a different place that is
So-
no more.
I know. Not really caring, but trying not to let that show.
Yeah.
And I asked, "Do you know anything about bears?"
Yes.
Okay, so I pull
The bears. Yes.
Balamut out
Yep.
and I show him to you
Yes.
and say, "Isn't he great?"
Yes. Do you know anything about bears?
Yes.
What is this?
I'll pop my head out. What are you talking about bears so much for out here?
I say, "This is my bear, but he's been turned to stone."
Ah, now we're talking. May I take a look at it? I won't touch it.
I nod, and obviously I'm holding him, so
I'll
so
cast
holding him.
detect magic and concentrate long enough to get a sense of what sort of magic is.
Yeah, give me a spellcraft check. And is the professor aiding?
Yeah, it's piqued my attention.
Yeah,
There's magic
Pixel's
about
gonna
it.
try and help out here too.
Zephyros can also help out auto-aid.
Okay,
all
you
want
put a
to-
magical oddity in all the sort of you're like, there's a circle of wizards. They're all wise men. The bag
does Pixel help?
kind of
Yes, Pixel helps.
nudges close to you while they're
Heroes
like
will
all
help.
wise manning around this bear and casting spells and looking at it, and their eyes are glowing.
If you want me to keep the bear for you, that is an option. Remember, I eat things for eating and for keeping.
If he eats it for keeping, he can give it back.
I not. Yeah, I guess I shake my head. I'm like,
39 on the spellcraft. What is this thing?
Oh, this is a type of curse you've never seen before. It takes the Carry Companion spell and turns it into a variant of Bestow Curse.
Oh.
Do
This is a version of a spell that you would take a friend, an animal friend, and make it small so that it's sort of locked in time, doesn't breathe, and
"Carry
you can
companion."
carry it around. Yes. But someone turned it into a curse. That cursed it instead into that form. Stuck there. How interesting. Fascinating, isn't it?
Do we think something like a dispel magic would be able to return it to normal?
You might need to break the enchantment more specifically. It is a curse. I can remove curses.
Oh,
In the morning.
do we know if dispel magic would do anything? Since it's a curse, it would probably be not. I mean, it's like
You
a
won't
different sort of thing.
Break
right?
it, I don't think. Right? You won't break
With your
it.
39, so you guys putting your egg heads together, realize that once you break the curse, it's a regular carry companion, and then he could decide whether or not the bear wakes up out of its form.
Okay.
Ah,
So the curse just sticks it there. It's once we break the curse, it'll still be a stone.
do you
You get to decide when it becomes not a stone.
Do you know the specifics of the curse? Usually these things have some sort of way to be broken.
Who did it?
Faye.
Of course.
Yes.
The same Fae that captured you and Ludo and put you in cells.
I don't know.
Do I know of any way to examine something to figure out the specifics of a curse?
I just gave you what the curse was.
You should meet our friend Esri.
Like I don't know how to undo it by examining it.
Oh, the 39, a remove curse
That's the only
will
way.
get rid of that particular part
There's
of it.
no like manual analog way of doing it, like kiss it on the lips by a princess.
No, there does not seem to be. There does not seem to be
Not
any.
happening.
It does not seem to be any. With a 39, you probably have discovered those conditions. Once it is in animal form, once it is in carry companion form without the curse, I think dispel magic could also get rid of that. But it looks like the owner of the animal could also just dispel it with a word.
Well, it seems the only way around this is remove curse.
I can put them on things and I can take them off. It might be a powerful one. It might take a couple tries. But I can do it in the morning.
Oh, what do you
I
got?
nod.
What do you
Say,
got there, Marty?
what do you want for it?
Tell us everything you know about our friends, Ludo.
I
And what's happening.
already did. We were thrown in jail together. We were there for.
How did you
what-
escape?
He opened the way, and he told me.
Alright.
He told me that they would take care of me. I take it he was talking about you.
Were you in the jail then when he opened the door?
Yes. Yeah, they didn't confiscate anything from us. It was a very strange jail. And I've been to them before, like at the start of my journey, so I have something to compare it to.
Mm-hmm.
And this was not a normal jail.
Was it like a box with a wall made of magic on one side?
Some rooms of it were.
Ah, okay. Was this the room where you were stuck in a room like that? Or could you walk around across many rooms?
The first one.
You were stuck in a room.
Well, we were, but so that's how did I know it was a madhouse if I was stuck in one room?
Well, you were stuck in a room, and then Ludo did something that brought the magical field down, and then you guys ran through a bunch of rooms that didn't make sense, and then ended up in a hut, and you looked outside, and it had chicken feet, and was standing off the ground.
Did you perchance see a lot of candles at any juncture?
Yes. There was a room where there were little impy things building
We've been
candles.
to that place. I know where you were.
Yes. Seems you got caught up in Baba Yaga's jail.
Did Ludo say something like, "I'm going to go find Manny," or something like that?
Or was it just...
He said leave no Manny behind.
Ah, there you go. So what has happened is he has found you and saved you from Baba Yaga's hut, but he has stayed to go and find his friend,
It's a bit more...
and then he'll rejoin us. We hope.
bit more altruistic than I remember him. He didn't try and stab you or anything. Or...
He might also have given you over to us as a distraction while he takes his treasure and runs away.
Yes, that sounds more appropriate, actually.
Sounds possible.
Okay.
Manny was never a good pal of yours, was he?
Yeah.
When he opened the front door to this big hut, it was a glowing blue field that led you to here. When you opened the door to the front hut, it just led you outside to this creepy forested area with a lot of mist, and then you kind of looked down and realized you were high off the ground, and it was like a hut with big chicken feet that were just that you were in. So there was something that Ludo had, or some ability he had, to make the portal come to this door that they're carrying around.
That's fair.
Yeah. Again, you have no ranks in Knowledge Arcana and no ranks in Spellcraft, correct? Yeah, it's all magic.
but also not really interesting to me. I think the part that would be most interesting to me would be the building with chicken feet.
Yeah.
Because they're chicken feet.
Yes.
So I would like to make a judgment, like, hey, are those good claws, or like what our chickens have? What is this good for?
It looked ancient and terrifying, and you were pretty certain that if somehow you could control the hut with chicken feet, that the hut could walk around.
Okay.
Listen, guys, I'm still on East Coast time. I'm fading quickly. I'm gonna log off here.
Okay.
See you, Neil.
See you guys next week.
The good news, Neil,
is that there's a plus sign above all of your characters' heads right now. And after you rest, you will level to level 7.
Mm-hmm.
In more ways than just metaphorical for me.
Yeah. Now you just happened to join when they were like just on the cusp of level 6 to level 7, so I'll help you level your guy offline.
Mm-hmm.
I'm going to do a little bit more chatting here, and then I think this is a good place to push pause.
See you, Neil.
Thanks, guys. See you next week.
Bye.
Tuesday next week?
Tuesday next week. Yep.
Nice. Yes. I do hope we see him and all of his special talents again sometime soon.
Yes, it would be terrible if I never saw Mandreas again. He's such a lovely chatting companion.
It's a ray of sunshine he is,
Mm.
and a healer.
Oh yes. About that.
I know you didn't like Manny, but some of us did.
I never said that, Mockernum. How
I
would you assume such a thing?
don't believe you. You two were arguing like schmats and rogs.
Oh, it is just impassioned debate.
They were arguing like they'd been married, like an old married couple.
Oh,
Were you
yes.
secretly in
At that
love?
sound, I visibly shiver. When you mention marriage, it's like, but don't say anything quickly.
Yeah.
Kind of take hold of myself. At some point, I asked, does anybody have anything to smoke?
No. Let me see. I have any.
There is meat that is smoking.
I kind of nod appreciatively at the mantis, but don't say anything.
It doesn't understand what you're asking.
No, I get it.
Yeah.
But most people don't, because that's like my sex thing. So I'm kind of used to it. But I'm still trying, might get lucky.
Do have nothing to smoke, but a bit of this whiskey I stole from a train car.
Nothing useful to smoke.
That's too bad. So I pull out my own stuff. I offer a joint to the bag.
Is this for eating or for keeping?
So I light it up,
Yep.
and then I give it to the bag, and I say for eating.
For eating,
Yes.
Okay, great.
he eats. You could hear the rolled cigarette kind of singe against his tongue,
Oh, it was lit.
and he ate the whole thing.
It's very
There's a gurgle in his body.
Yeah. So
That's how we gobble.
as I do this,
Yep.
keeping my eyes red, relax, kind of start petting the bear, even though it's a bowling ball, but
He does this new guy doesn't seem very concerned that you're in a very dangerous place. He kind of kicks back and
All right.
Oh. Oh.
Oh, that's
I
hilarious.
feel all tingly.
I like really slowly, not fist bump the back,
Yeah.
like cloth bump.
Yeah, the bag wiggles in between Zephyros and you. You've made a new friend, a very strange friend, but a friend indeed.
Not into it.
As we start to wind down for the evening, I will pull out. Do I have anything prepared? Sorry, I was way low on the character sheet. I do have a silent image prepared. I will use it. I will put another arcane point in it to increase the spell DC. And I will make 10-foot cubes of really convincing stone around here to hide as much of our campsite as we can. And
Okay.
Oh yeah, that's a good call.
The professor begins raising up like out of thin air, ground to sort of mask the camp.
And I see this happening.
Mm-hmm.
I basically just say it won't help.
Tends to confuse them for a few moments at least. Gives us a bit of time to get our pants on, so to speak.
Basically, I close my eyes, and like as I'm closing them, I say they see with sound. won't
Those
matter.
ones, yes.
Not the lions, though.
Cactus folk, lions, is all.
The lions see with noses.
Yes, well.
Well, there is that. Yes.
As I said, it will buy us a few moments, not foolproof, and also there's a fire, so it is a bit confusing to look at from the outside.
You're getting your crawling claw to concentrate on it.
Yeah.
Is the crawling claw invisible still, or is it visible?
Probably at this point, the hours per level would have faded.
Okay. You realize that the professor has crawling around it. At first, you thought it was a bug, but then it doesn't seem to bother him, and he is talking to it. It's a disembodied, creepy, old, dead hand with black nails. And when it finally appears, it just sort of gives you a thumbs up and then kind of crawls over, and
Is
then
it like humanoid hand?
it's a humanoid hand. It looks like it's been mummified or embalmed. It has some rings on it. I think it's wearing a ring.
Yes.
Okay. And then it seems to be concentrating on, like, at least like moving two of its fingers at the big mound of earth that was conjured by the professor. It's creepy.
Yeah.
I guess I asked the bag, like that thing cool,
What?
the hand.
Oh, yes, that is the hand, the crawling claw of the Archmage Icky Macer III.
Yes, Icky Mason.
I nod, not knowing at all who that is, or caring really.
It is his familiar and is not for eating, although he's got a place in his belly button for keeping it.
I try to make a mental image, like not quite shudder, but like
Yeah.
cringe, and then mine flows elsewhere, as usually happens.
As the party settles in for the night and gathers close to the fire, we pan back across the desert darkness to a draconic thing that is standing aloft as it often does above the smoking butte, and it looks across
The Valley of the Titans. His reptilian eyes.
narrowing down as there's a twinkling firelight, letting know the dragon that something has come to its veil.
Nice.
I think we'll push pause here. As always, we need a name for tonight's game, and good job, Gene.
Yeah, welcome aboard, man.
For
Yeah.
someone who's at their first D&D game.
Well, not my first, but
Okay.
first in many years.
Okay. Welcome.
So-
And we need